What's up, everybody? My name's Ahab. Thanks for joining me. And this is going to be an introduction video to this series of videos for a Cities Skyline map that I'm building that I've called Liverpool. And the reason I call it Liverpool, I'm a huge fan of Liverpool Football Club over in England, in English Premier League, and I was not creative enough to come up with any other city like Ahabville at the time. What I have for you and what you're seeing right now is how I began this particular map. It's an interesting map. It's one of the first non-vanilla maps that I could find, and I started this city a very long time ago. And in a little while, I'll fast forward to where we are right now with the city. But this is how I started it. A little bit of industry and commercial up here on top, and the residential coming down here down to this lovely little lake. And originally I had plans, big plans, for this map. I wanted to do all residential in the center peninsula here between these two rivers. And then on one side I was going to do industry, and on another side I was going to do commercial and tourism and leisure and all that. And you know what they say, best laid plans of mice and men and all that. So obviously that's not how it came out. Um, but I would say I stuck to it fairly well. I mean, unfortunately, with the way the games flow, especially Cities Skylines, can't really stick to that. Uh, but we'll see how it came out in a little while. Let's just take a quick glance at this map. There's a lot of resources in this map. You got a lot of fertile areas for farms here, above where I started, and over here on the left side of the map, right side of the map as well. There are a bunch of oil areas. Right here is one. There's a large one over here on the left side, over here on the right side. There's ore right up here. This is a big hill. Let's see if I change the view here. A lot of ore in this hill over here. And as you can see, nice waterways. Highway access is pretty good. And a little bit of rail. And I'm going to load up what I have now for Liverpool. Open it here. And while I'm loading up the actual most recent version of Liverpool, just say a little bit about Cities Skylines. I started playing video games a very long time ago with the original SimCities on, I think it was an Apple IIgs, dating myself there for everybody. Um, and ever since then, I've always just really enjoyed city builders. And I was a little disappointed with how SimCity 5, I think is what everybody calls it, came out and what it did to the series. And really what bugged me most about it was no matter what I built, the traffic, individuals, the Sims themselves, as they used to be called, um, they wouldn't stay in the same house. It was all based upon where their job was, and then they would go to the closest available residential area. Now, I'm not sure if that was ever fixed, but it really turned me off of the game because no matter what I built, you know, the traffic wasn't really what it was supposed to be. And I don't know why that irked me, but it did. So then along came Cities Skylines, and I have to say, I am just a huge fan of the series, especially playing it on PC. Um, DLC that they've added, and then just the huge mod community that has embraced Cities Skylines. And I've got a bunch of mods. I'll make a separate video for that, what I use. But the mods really extend the game and make it better, make it more enjoyable, and make the ability to dive into things a lot more fun as well. But as you see, I've loaded the most recent version of Liverpool, and it's significantly larger than what it was. When I started, or at least when I started the video, I had a population of about 5,500 people, and you can see we're now up to 102,000, a little bit shy of 103,000. So this is what the starting area became. You can see I've expanded the residential. This is all low density residential, and I've kind of kept it at that in my mind. It's a little bit of a historic area for the town of Liverpool. Um, Everything up here closest to the highway has become high density, or not everything, but most of it has. I used to have a big industry area over here. I've gotten rid of all that industry and moved it north of the highway. And you can see, as I said, I huge amounts of industry over here on this ore patch, and I've got a bunch of industry sprinkled throughout the rest of the map. And well, that's Liverpool. You can see how I really wasn't able to stick with what I wanted to do and keep all the residential here. I actually, you know what? I take that back. It's not that I wasn't able to. It's just the way the map went and my thinking went along periods of time. You know, in theory, it's a great idea to have residential in one area and have the people travel to where they needed to. But I don't know if it really work out that way. I want to retry this map later on with unlimited money and mods to get access to all the land before I even start the city and go from there. But that's for a future. I'll make a future series out of that. I'm going to continue this. I don't have all the build out recorded for this particular city. I started this city a long time ago before I started this YouTube channel, and apologies for that. But you guys are going to come along on a ride involving Industries DLC, Park Life DLC, College Life DLC, and just watching how this map evolves from where it is right now. So, as I said, this is where I started, here. I added some industry up here, and then I built this huge ore area up here, some timber industry here. And then I moved over to here, and I built this little patch here because I needed some more housing. And then the city really took off after I was able to expand over into here and add space over here. It shot from 40,000 to 60,000 pretty quick in population. And then I was able to get a couple pieces of land over here. I added this space here and the residential sprinkled back in here. And it shot from 60 to 80 and 80 to 100 in population very, very quickly. I was very surprised at how fast it went. So where will I go from here? Well, my goal is I want to add a lovely park in this area here because it's close to the highway. And it's really on this area where I would like to keep kind of a touristy side of town. You can see I've got the cruise ships coming in up the river to here. I've got soccer fields over here, or football field, depending on where you're from in the world. I've got a leisure side here. This is a strip of density commercial, and I will eventually turn this section in this lake into more tourism area as well. So basically expand parks and tourism. I would like to add a college. I think down here would be a nice area to add a college. There's a couple of little hills. Actually, there's a big hill right in the middle there. That'll make it nice and kind of attractive. And then, of course, the supporting residential and commercial area for the college. And then I want to work more on adding industry and dive into the Industries DLC. And this down here by this lake, use all this for farming. Do high-tech industry over here. Possibly over here as well. Like I said earlier, adding timber more here, converting this from generic mining into the industry DLC mining is a goal that I have, and we'll record a session of that. And then over here, where this huge oil patch is, I've already set it up to have the industry DLC oil specific buildings in this area here. I've left a little generic industry oil specific here on this side of the patch, just because I don't feel like I didn't feel like I wanted to manage everything directly and micromanage all that. And then along with the Industries DLC, there's very specific factories you can build as you level up your different industry sections. So those will probably be all built here because they have ease of access to the freight rail here and ease of access to highways going wherever they need from here into this intersection, or if they go up from here into this intersection. And that is Liverpool. I hope you all enjoyed the introduction to Liverpool. And in the future, I'll have sessions building out industry, building out park, building out college, and just expanding the city in general. And then, of course, any recommendations or what folks want to see, if they leave any comments on my videos, once I have some followers, if I get some followers, I will respond to those for this city or start new ones as folks request. Well, again, thanks for joining me. I hope you liked Liverpool, and I hope to see you again. Have a good one.